refresh your page.
Live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook.
Hello, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook.
We did it. 3 people who are supposed to know what they're doing on Facebook. Congratulations. Hey, everybody. It's Maureen Walbioff with some practical wisdom for nonprofit accidental techies with a different day and time, going live with some special friends this morning or afternoon, wherever you are. I'm here with Julia Campbell and Nick Byrne, and we're going to spend just a few minutes this morning going over some of the information that we're gathering and getting ready to present to everyone at the Nonprofit Technology Conference 2 weeks from today on March 24th at 10 a.m. So we've been working on this for months, and we thought that bringing something a little special to you this morning might whet your appetite for the real deal that we do in a couple of weeks. Julia, want to do a quick intro in case somebody doesn't know who you are, which I can't imagine.
Hi, I am Julia Campbell, and I always struggle with this, like my little elevator pitch, but the way that I like to frame my work is that I help nonprofits build their digital communities and engage their stakeholders using social media and storytelling. And I'm really excited to be here.
And you just had a book come out, yes?
Yes. How to build and mobilize a social media community for your nonprofit in 90 days. So it walks you through what to do the first 30 days, the next 30 days, and the last 30 days. And at the end of it, you come out with a full blueprint and calendar to really level up what your nonprofit's doing on social media. So I'm really proud of it. And hopefully I'll have some copies with me at NTC.
I'm going to have you sign one for me. I'll buy one there and have you sign it.
Thank you. Oh yeah. And we're doing a book launch that, what was it? Is it the night of the 24th or the 23rd? I love that I can't remember. And anyway, I'll post a link to it in the comment section of this Facebook Live, but we'll also be launching John Hayden's book, Donor Care. So that'll be a fun event.
Thank you, Julia. And Nick Byrne of Give Panel. How about a little intro, my friend?
Sure. Yeah. Mine might be a little bit easier than Julia's. So folks, Give Panel, we help nonprofits manage their Facebook fundraising. So all of those frustrations that you have with the Facebook giving tools, we're aiming to solve those one at a time. We have over 100 nonprofits now using the platform in over 7 countries. So seeing a lot of the data come in, seeing a lot of the different, results and things that we'd love to share. And that's why I teamed up with these great people to help facilitate that and share it at NTC. It's
a very cool product, and learn more about it at givepanel.com. Nick, is that right?
That's right. Yeah, the .com, simple.
Be one of the first in the United States to unlock all of this data. So Facebook is like the F word of nonprofits, right? Where we love it, it's useful, but they change the rules all the time, and we're trying really hard to channel the time and capacity that we've got at the right places when it comes to Facebook. And so as Julia and Nick and I travel around and talk with nonprofit staff, the one theme is I don't know how to feel about Facebook fundraising. I like it, but I hate it at the same time. And I'd love to know, Nick, from your perspective, why is this such a big topic for nonprofits? What's going on?
Yeah, I think there's a couple of different things. It's an absolute game changer when it comes to fundraising, right? So in my opinion, it's a massive inflection point in the way that we do things. And probably the biggest thing that's driving it is that, we found a digital platform where people can now donate without leaving it, right? So it's a reduced friction that is probably the number one thing. I went to an organization's, often email, went to an organization's page, and, you have to, if you use a platform like a peer-to-peer platform, you have to log in, you have to remember a password, you have to do all of that. And there's none of that with Facebook. When people donate to your organization, they don't have to log into a peer-to-peer platform to create a page or do anything like that. So I think the reduced friction is a massive part of it.
Yes.
Right.
And then the second part really is the fact that it's natively inside a social network. So this is the first time in history that a fundraising platform has been inside a social graph, right? We're all connected. and Facebook tools leverage those connections. So it's social fundraising. It's really the first time that social fundraising has happened in the history of fundraising at this level in digital and scalable. So I think those are the two big reasons why, you know, it's produced so much income for so many organizations already. And it's something that you've kind of, you know, you're going to want to leverage as much as you possibly can and go with the flow.
Absolutely.
Wise words. And I'm going to add something to that in a little bit. Julia, how about you? I mean, you literally swim in social media channels and write about it and do thought leadership and do training. Where are you at around Facebook and the opportunities that it brings to nonprofits today?
Well, I think I wanted to say to you, Nick, GivePanel has to come to the peer-to-peer forum next year.
Oh yeah.
That I was just at in Austin.
Yeah, unfortunately, I was on a beach in the Caribbean instead.
Oh, but, well, definitely next year, because these are your people right here.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
What I found being at that conference and also the Nonprofit Technology Conference, it's different than these conferences are different than other conferences because the fundraisers that are there are open-minded to this kind of technology and they understand the opportunity that it presents. And so they might not be 100% on board yet, or they might not really know how to use it or leverage it. But I do find that nonprofits are very split. So what happens to me all the time I'm sure that in my inbox right now, I have an email waiting for me from an organization that says, I want to reach new donors. I want to raise awareness. I want to increase visibility. I want to get in front of a new audience. I want to reach younger donors. And so I say, okay, and give them some options, one of which is Facebook fundraising because it accomplishes all of those things. And then I think that the reticence that the other 50% of nonprofits have is in the data and the lack of control. But what I want to convey about Facebook fundraising, especially, I mean, just to reiterate what Nick said, it's a revolution in the way things are being done. I mean, it's not a shiny new tool that's going to go away. It's only going to grow and expand. And as we've seen on other social networking platforms like YouTube, and, you know, I'm really shocked there's not a donate button on like a Snapchat or TikTok yet. I mean, I think it's all coming because people want to give where they are and they want to share with their friends that they're doing this. So they don't want to give in a vacuum anymore. They like to involve their friends and get them all together and share this important cause and this important issue. So to me, what I try to say to people is you do have to make the decision for your organization, but it's, I mean, almost, what is it, Nick? Almost 4 billion has been raised on the platform. That's the latest number.
And near that. Yeah. And I think
it can't be ignored anymore.
Yeah. And I think the early adopters have got in and you know, and been in the right place at the right time. And they've, you know, that they've benefited because of that. But I think this, one of the things we want to talk about at our session, right, at NTC is that this myth that you don't get the data. And actually, I think that this kind of statement went out that you don't get the data. And it's way more complicated than that. We have some clients that get now 100% of the data for the people that set up their Facebook fundraising. Okay. 100% of the data. And so, you know, yes, it's true that you don't get all the donor data, you know, everything, but you got this myth just went out that you don't get any donor data. And it's, that's just not true. And so we want to unpack that a little bit and look at the organizations where they're getting the data, right? And how they're getting the data, because I think it's key. I want to reverse that myth.
Yeah, and
that's so important.
The word does travel, you know, and people get these assumptions that cross their feed or their blog roll, or, you know, however they're tapping in to our industry and where technology is helpful and where it's not. And personally, I think that this is one of those places where you have to let go of how it's been done before. This is like astronauts on the moon time, and you've got to be ready and agile and learn as you go. And that's hard for an organization that's not tech forward. You know, if there's some tech resistance in there, it's going to be excuse after excuse. But if you bring to your executive leadership or whoever your boss is, who's deciding or agreeing on how much time and effort you're going to throw at this. This is about finding, not just creating them, but finding them already made, a new kind of digital ambassador for your organization. That's who these fundraisers really are. They are doing it themselves. They're using tools that they're comfortable with and feel secure using. And they're taking that effort that you didn't even really promote or ask them to take. So imagine if you did develop a
if you had a strategy
and got them to do more stuff for you.
Yeah.
So
also, the choice that a donor or a fundraiser has for you is not whether they use you, whether they support you or not. Right. It's whether they support you or someone else. And so if someone else is using the platform, we've seen this a lot with organizations in the health space. You know, if they're not, if you're, you know, a diabetes organization, you know, the choice isn't between supporting you or not supporting you. It's between supporting you or another diabetes organization. And I think that's where like some of the smaller charities nonprofits who got onto Facebook fundraising in the first place early, they actually did very, very well because the traditional, maybe bigger organizations didn't get on. And as quickly, right?
You can compete a little bit more equally with larger organizations. I hadn't thought of that, Nick. That's great. Julia, what's one tiny thing that you would like to share with folks who are watching today about secrets around Facebook fundraising? We've just laid a bunch of foundations and passion out in front of people, but what do you have as like a little thing to share from our session?
Well, a giant piece of what we are going to cover is around the mindset shift that has to happen at the organization, and also what is a social donor and what is a fundraiser, and where nonprofits should be focusing their time, which is not on necessarily the social donors, the $5 donors, but on the fundraiser, on the person that's actually raising the money. And how do you build that relationship and cultivate this group of this like army of Facebook fundraisers to create fundraisers for you and then cultivate them. So we'll spend a lot of time dispelling myths, and we'll spend a lot of time talking about some of the mindset shifts that really have to happen in order for this to be successful. And I know I'm really excited. Nick's going to share some awesome strategies, how to use Facebook ads and how to use specific strategies to get the data and acquire the data from your Facebook fundraisers.
Yeah, I think we're all learning a lot as we prep this. Nick, how about you? I think of you as sort of the master, the lead explorer potentially within the three of us. What would you like to share with folks today?
Yeah, I think one of the things I'm looking forward to sharing is some results from a client of ours. So the Children's Cancer Research Fund. And we were able to work with them. They get a lot of organic birthday fundraisers, right? And this is one of the things that happens when you switch on Facebook's giving tools is the birthday fundraising has been the biggest thing so far. And so they got thousands of birthday fundraisers, and we were able to help them get the data for their birthday fundraisers at a cost per contactable supporter of less than $10. Nice. So, you know, so we thanked 100% of their supporters and then also got the data so they could put them on their database, their CRM database for less than $10 per fundraiser. So these are people who have already raised $200 for you that you can get onto your database and nurture over time for less than $10. So that's a fantastic return on investment from a fundraising perspective. And so that's the model I'd love to share. And we've got Meg, who is a superstar from that organization, who's going to share all the inside secrets. And you're going to hear it from her, which is much better than hearing it from me.
Right. And that, what I want to add is that the very first time that I did a Facebook fundraiser, and this is what I always talk about in any session that I do, is the actual power of the nonprofit to know who their super supporters are. Because when we did a Facebook fundraiser for my daughter's birthday, I think right when it's 2 years ago, maybe.
Mhm.
She wanted to have a lemonade stand. It got rained out. She wanted to raise money for Cape Ann Animal Aid. So I said, well, why don't we do it on Facebook and we'll do a virtual lemonade stand? She raised $300. We knew exactly who gave so that we could thank them. The charity knew that it was Isabel's birthday fundraiser and could send, and they contacted me and I gave them our information, but we were already in their database. But the point was, if I had just posted a link and said, everybody donate to Cape Ann Animal Aid on their website, we would never have known how much was raised.
Right.
And the charity would not have known that it was because of Isabel. They would have just seen maybe a spike in donations and there wouldn't have been that kind of social proof. So for me, we are building this relationship with this nonprofit, and the nonprofit's able to see that we are really invested and we're doing this on their behalf. So to me, it's kind of like a no-brainer. But
you've got a little asterisk by your name in the database now.
Yeah.
Tag.
I hope so. I think so. I love them. They're such a great organization.
I think this is about working with what Facebook makes easy.
Yeah.
Already.
Yep.
It's going to offer up when your birthday gets close. Would you like to start a birthday fund? Hello, you don't have to do that. You just have to be ready to nurture that relationship as people take Facebook up on that offer and actually help them understand that you take donations on Facebook like this or let people do birthday fundraisers. So there's a little lift at the beginning and some strategy, but after that, I think it's just a matter of learning as you go and continuing to get better. And what I love about your stat about $10, less than $10 to convert somebody, they've already given. Organizations are putting lots of dollars right now to get people who might give, who haven't already taken any action.
That's
so
true.
I think this is real.
And most of the people who start a birthday fundraiser are not, like, they haven't supported organizations before. So we've done some analysis on that, and over 90% of the people setting up these fundraisers are not already on your database. And so that's a key point that people don't know.
Yay.
Excellent. Well, we could give away all our secrets this morning because we're super into it. But we'll see everybody. I want everyone to say a little goodbye and how folks can find you if they don't know of you already. But again, we will see you in person, fingers crossed, on the 24th at 10 a.m. in Baltimore at the Convention Center at NTC 2020. Nick, can you say a little bit about how people can learn more about you or connect with you?
Yeah, sure. You can go to the website, which is givepanel.com, or just email me. It's just easy, nick@givepanel.com, how it sounds. And, I'd be happy to chat with anyone.
Excellent. Awesome. And Julia, how about you?
Well, my website, jcsocialmarketing.com. That's where my blog is and information about my book. I really hope to see people in Baltimore. We can sing all the songs from Hairspray, which is like one of my favorite musicals.
First time I've been to Baltimore. I'm super excited.
Ooh, nice. Well, we'll show you a good time.
All right. Well, thanks so much for coming on for the sneak peek, friends. And I will see you in person in a couple of weeks. Thanks everybody for watching. We'll see you soon. Bye, folks.
Bye.
Bye.